Congratulations on 5 wickets. How did it feel to have everything go to plan tonight?
Yeah, it's always nice. I think, we train as individuals and as a team, and to see it come together, it's super special. I was very fortunate to get the rewards. I put the balls in the right area, but it's not often that happens, but very grateful, and I'll take that performance. It's a place where I came to debut, so it's a wonderful, sort of fitting, nostalgic feeling coming back here and getting my first fifer.
And Mitch Marsh said it spun a bit more than he expected. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, I felt, especially with that newer ball, it almost had like a sort of tackiness reaction off the wicket. And then as it went on and the ball got softer, it was probably negated a little bit. But there was probably a little bit more spin later towards the innings, maybe because of the used wicket sort of condition. But yeah, it did spin a little bit more.
So you've taken fifers in first class and test match cricket, but cool to take one in the white ball format now?
Yeah, very much so. I think as a cricketer you want to get a fifer on various formats and obviously tick the test box, and it's nice to finally get the one-day fifer under the belt.
For sure. Obviously the Aussies fought back later on in that innings. Were you pleased with how the boys stuck with it to roll them over and get the job done?
Yeah, very much so. I think, firstly from a point of series where we start very slowly, it's nice to put our front foot forward, and then to see how clinical we are. We're going to expect partnerships. It's not a case of just running through a very solid batting lineup. Yeah, we had the breakthrough, but we expected a partnership, but the guys were still quite diligent in terms of the execution, and quite clinical when we did get the wicket of Dwarses at the end.
And obviously had a good performance with the bat. Did you like what you saw out of him in the first innings?
Yeah, very much so. I think he showed the caliber of cricket he is, and it's nice for him to get some runs under his belt. I know he was gutted not to get a big one and convert, but I'm sure, hopefully in the next 2 games he can convert that 80 into a big 100.
So you talked about the spin being, I suppose, a significant factor. Does that factor into how you kind of prepare for the next 2 one-days down in Mackay at all, or?
Yeah, look, it is something we can consider, but we don't know what the conditions are in Mackay as yet, so I might have to adjust my bowling when I get there and once I see the conditions. But yeah, I think it's just focusing on the process behind everything for now.
Have you enjoyed your time up here in Cairns?
It's beautiful to be able to walk along the coastline with a cup of coffee. There's some good coffee spots, and I think it's a wonderful town. People are very friendly over here, and everything's at arm's length, so it makes it quite accessible.
Kesh, obviously you got some spin there. There was a ripper to Marnus. Was almost unfair. It was as much in the air he seemed to be reading them. They weren't reading the length. I asked Mitch about it, and he said, yeah, true. Hats off to him for that. Can you explain why that was? And it just seemed to be playing from the crease. They just couldn't pick up your length.
Yeah, obviously, when you try and bowl overspin with a ball, it drops, as spinners call it. Especially with a newer ball, it does come a little bit more natural than with the older ball. Look, once I identified there was a little bit of spin, I tried to use my pace and a little bit of angle on the crease. Unfortunately enough, I put the ball in the right areas. But I think to answer the question in terms of reading the length, I think with the drop in the newer ball, it does happen quite significantly, and it happens quite quicker. And we saw as the spell went on that probably that drop was negated towards the latter part of my spell.
Left out of those opening T20s, obviously coming in tonight. Firstly, kind of how'd you feel being out of that T20 lineup, and was it good to remind the coaches what you can do tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I want to play all 3 formats, so I was a bit disappointed. But I think the coaching staff felt a certain way, and it's nice to come put in a performance to show that I can do it in the shorter formats of the game. And whatever's meant to be will be at the end of the day. I'm just focusing on my cricket and enjoying my cricket, and I want to try win games for my country.
Kesh, you were pretty animated with your celebrations for the first 4 wickets, but then after the 5th, you're a bit more reserved. What was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, look, I'm not someone who sort of bowls for fifers. I'm a process-driven person, so I judge myself on my consistency and my length. So, yeah, I think it was more a sigh of relief to finally tick the box. You dream of playing international cricket, you dream of putting match-winning performances, and the dreams keep building. But to be able to sort of tick the box of getting a 5 will always be special, but probably more a sigh of relief than anything else.
I'm not sure if you know, but you're the first South African spinner to reach 300 wickets across all formats. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's special. I didn't know that, so thanks for that. But yeah, I think there's a lot more that I want to learn, and a lot more for me to sort of achieve in my career, especially with the team, and try win more trophies together as a nation. So it's a nice feather to have the cap, and hopefully I can keep raising that bar for spinners coming through in our systems.
Just the final one. Kesh, you were joking 2 days ago about having a new mystery ball. We didn't see it tonight, but seriously though, are you still getting better and improving at the stage of your career?
Yeah, I think, a lot of people ask me, what's next, and I believe, even though I'm 35 years old, I believe my journey, I'm always learning. I think the day I stop learning is the day that I have to walk away from the game. I'd like to think I'm a scholar of the game. I watch a lot of cricket. I'm always bouncing ideas, even from the younger generation, because it's nice to see how the difference in thinking works. So yeah, I'm still learning. I'd like to think I'm getting better as age goes on. But I think it's the years and years of hard work from the age of 15 years old in first-class cricket. It's sort of coming to fruition.
So no issue.
I don't think the wicket demanded me to bowl it yet. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. And if it does sort of allow me to, then maybe I will show it.
Obviously, there's not a long list of South Africans that have taken 5 wickets on Australian soil in 1 day, and a couple of names like Morné Walker and Lance Clouse. So what does it mean to kind of be amongst those kind of figures in South African cricket?
Yeah, those are legends of the game. In all formats of the game. So to be among them is a special feeling. Hopefully I can get and unlock more doors for myself from that perspective. But I think to be acknowledged in the same category of the legends of the game is a super special feeling.
And as Neil said, you bowled a couple of snorters tonight. Did you have a favourite wicket of the 5?
I'd probably, Monas was nice, but it's always nice hitting the stump. So I'd probably say either Cam Green or Aaron Hardy. Monas was an absolute snorter to open him up like that. But first ball as well, and we know the caliber of player he is. So I guess I'll go with Monas' delivery.